we are honored again to stand before this House on this occasion of the third State of the Province address of the 7th Administration of Government of Provincial Unity to solely report back to these commitments. It indeed remains an honor for me to lead and be the face of this province of ours. But where I've erred or misrepresented our province, I sincerely and honestly apologize, as I always take my responsibilities seriously. It is the African proverb that teaches us that, and I quote, "The hands that make mistakes belong to those who work hard," end of quote. Madam Speaker, on the 27th of January 2026, we were hit by an unexpected water shortage in our province. There was a huge explosion at the Rand water plant. After this explosion, fire hit our transmission machines, followed by a huge burst pipe. Immediately thereafter, our water supply was deeply affected across the province. We then went into an emergency mode. The areas affected by this explosion was rectified within 72 hours. The fire was extinguished and the burst pipe was repaired. However, the water levels across the province were badly affected. The President immediately sent a ministerial team to camp in our province, and our water emergency team went on an overdrive. This resulted in the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Honorable Minister Phemi Machodina, giving an extraordinary proclamation to allow Rand Water to immediately extract more water from the Vaal River integrated water system. The first suburban area to be hit hard was Midrand. Lately, we can now declare that water has been fully restored in the Midrand area and surrounding areas. Another area that was hit was Soweto. We've now made great progress. Except for Meadowlands Zone 3 and Zone 4, and areas receiving water from the Doornkop Reservoir, Soweto has now been restored with water. Our engineers have assured us that areas that still have a problem of water, they are working across the clock to rectify this situation. In the West Rand, water in Kagiso and the surrounding areas has been fully restored. Besides Bedfordview, Tsakane, and parts of KwaThema, the Ekurhuleni water supply is now stable, including the water supply in Tshwane, Sidibeng, and the West Rand. There are areas where residents have a full supply, but they are affected by a pressure at night due to the nighttime throttling. Nighttime throttling reduces pressure to allow the system to recover. Areas that are affected by nighttime throttling are Kissington, Basel and Old Valley, Bruma, and Berea. Other areas that are still experiencing instability are those supplied through the Commando system and the Brixton Towers. However, the areas that remain stubborn and extremely difficult to resolve the water challenges are part of Westdean, Coronationville, Sophia Town, Melville, Emarentia, and some sections of Doornkop. To permanently resolve these issues, a 760 million massive infrastructure investment upgrade is currently underway in the city of Johannesburg over a phased approach. The first phase, it will be the construction of a new ground reservoir and a tower in Brixton, and will go live this Saturday, to improve water supply in these areas. In response to this crisis, we build an emergency boosting pipe station, which will also go live next week, Tuesday, to ensure that these areas are covered with water immediately. The permanent solution will be realized in phase 2 once the construction of the 5-kilometer pipeline is concluded at the end of the year. Furthermore, the national government is assisting us in realizing the return of investment made so that the people of Hammanskraal, Bronkhorstspruit, Kokosi, Forgeville, KwaThema, and other areas can have their dignity restored and have access to water as well. But let me be clear, the challenge is not water availability, but the interruption caused by infrastructure failures, leaks, and high demand peaks. We are working as the 3 spheres of government to fix the water challenges in our province. And we urge those that have an interest of our people not to politicize this unfortunate situation, because when they had day 0 in their own province, we didn't politicize this matter. We are about to conclude the expansion of water infrastructure so that we can be ready to receive additional water from the Lesotho Highlands Water Project, thus cementing our water security permanently in our province. But to avoid the sporadic shortages of water, together with all the executive mayors and the national government, we prioritize the need for investment in water storage. Water storage facilities are the future, so that when we are hit by this kind of explosion, the water storage will continue to provide water in our province. For now, we are planning at least to have water storage that can carry us for almost 7 days. But in Midrand, we are building a new water storage facility to house 20 million liters of water. The private developers matched this investment with a donation of 10 million liters of water that will be available to be stored to the people of Midrand so that they don't lose water again in their lifetime. Similar investments are rising in Ekurhuleni, Tshwane, and the Western municipalities. We want to take this opportunity to thank all our municipalities, but in particular, the municipality of Ekurhuleni for being the best municipality to provide quality water at the acceptable level. Citizens of Gauteng, even though we are making good progress on this issue of water, the water challenges in our province need constant monitoring and support. We once more sincerely apologize to all our residents in all our province who still go through the inconveniences caused by this unfortunate situation. Be assured of our commitment to permanently resolve this challenge and allow water to flow in our province. Water is life, sanitation is dignity. The might of the law was demonstrated recently in West Rand, when all spheres of government came together to confront zamas who thought they could victimize and intimidate the community of Sporong in West Rand. This was followed by a joint operation of the police, the army, and the strategic unit that has been identified by our provincial commissioner. In this raid, since the arrival of the army in our province, they have interacted with zamas who have left immediately when the army arrived, and we managed to retrieve 75 AK-47s and rounds of ammunition and we are intensifying the presence of the army in this area. To our President, thank you, President, for listening to us. The time to take chances in our province will be over soon, and we hope and remain hopeful that the presence of the army will end gangsterism in some of our townships and finally chase out the zamas once and for all in our province. To the people of Western, le rona re batho. As you may recall, we committed to immediately replace traffic signals across our province and resurface and upgrade our roads. To date, together with all municipalities, we are now standing at 4,786 functional traffic lights, while 699 traffic lights are non-functional across the province. This brings misery, and this brings pain to our residents. Unfortunately, our traffic signals are being vandalized, and this has become a vicious cycle. We fix today, they are vandalized tomorrow. But together with the CSIR, we are now piloting a new alternative technology to assist us with the eradication of theft and vandalism of traffic lights. We therefore urge our communities to please report suspicious acts of vandalism immediately. The number 4 priority that was identified was potholes. I received an ex-message from a Gauteng resident who said, the Johannesburg Roads Agency has fixed every single pothole in Bryanston in less than, wait. This ex-user wrote to me and said, the Johannesburg Road Agency has fixed every single pothole in Bryanston in less than 2 days, many of which have existed for years. Oh, they are fixing them because there's by-election later this week. This affirms that we are indeed trying to fix majority of our potholes. We share the frustration of our citizens, but we can assure you, we have now developed a mechanism and processes that will allow us to fix this problem. I guess democratic culture demands skepticism if we continue to deal with this problem. But it does not stop us doing what needs to be done. So we can give you a feedback that out of 31,000 identified potholes to date, 26,000 have been repaired across the Gauteng city region, demonstrating our commitment to providing safer road infrastructure in the province. But let us be honest, the weather patterns and the amateurish filling of some of these potholes lead to reoccurrence of these potholes, and we feel they are now used by tenderers to get business. We have taken a decision, therefore, to work with the Tshwane municipality as well as the Johannesburg municipality and invest in their asphalt plant so that government on its own can fill potholes and not rely on tenderers who are doing a shady job on this matter. Madam Speaker, this one excites me. Never did we think in our lifetime we will be in a position to kiss HIV/AIDS goodbye. We have now resolved to be the first province to stock and distribute the newfound HIV/AIDS defeating vaccine, lenacapavir, when it's made available by the minister. We want to be the province that can lead in the release of this vaccine. We can now declare that we can defeat HIV/AIDS in our lifetime. We are now calling on those that wants to use this mechanism to stop HIV/AIDS. People of Gauteng, we've been hit hard by foot and mouth disease. Gauteng is facing the severest prolonged foot and mouth disease outbreak in recent history, which began in April 2025, following the illegal movement of infected cattle into our province. By January 2026, 195 confirmed cases affecting 261,000 cattle have been recorded, with the likelihood of underreporting. In response, the Gauteng provincial government has implemented a coordinated intergovernmental strategy, including strict livestock movement controls, quarantine, and vaccination measures. And we have intensified roadblocks to curb illegal transport and a unified communication campaign. To date, 286 cattle have been vaccinated, with additional doses secured, while farmers are urged to strengthen biosecurity and cooperate fully with veterinary authorities to contain the end of the outbreak.